On the 7th of January 2028, in our save, we took over NK Istra, a team in Croatia that were rock bottom of the top flight there. They'd only got 13 points after 19 games. Were we able to save them? Let's find out. Hello and welcome back to another On The Med update with me, Dan, aka DeeBoiPlays. And as you can see, not only did we save Istrra from relegation, we absolutely smashed it. We almost got Europe. Can you look at the table? Yeah, on closer inspection, you can see we turned things around massively. We managed to get 27 points with them, which honestly, when we took over the team, I wasn't entirely certain that we'd actually manage to do something like that, but we had an incredible run of form, and yeah, like I say, we missed out on Europe by 2 goals. Can you believe it? On the last day of the season, Slaven Belupo were playing Varaždin, and if Slaven had beaten them, we would have been 4th. We did everything we needed to do, but unfortunately they couldn't help us out. But it's fine. It wasn't the intention of our first season in Croatia, as said in the last video. Basically, we were just trying to save Istrra from relegation, and I'd like to say we did it pretty convincingly. So we took over the team pretty much at the halfway point in the Croatian league. And yeah, as you can see, the first couple of games were a little bit ropey. We started off with a 3-3 draw against Dinamo Zagreb, which to me was incredible. I thought, what a start. We actually kind of bottled that game, funnily enough. We went 3-1 up. And then in the 81st and 82nd minute, they managed to get a couple of goals. Annoyingly, Eddie Salcedo coming back to bite me after some fun I had with him last year. But yeah, first couple of games, a little bit rough. And then we had that 2-0 loss to Hajduk Split. Varaždin beat us 2-0 as well. And at that point, we were still trying to sort the team out. We were trying to get rid of a lot of deadwood, bring in some players that actually help improve the team. Managed to sign a couple of people that I quite like the look of. And then we had to tweak the tactic because I was just thinking, unfortunately, the squircle that we made the first time round wasn't exactly doing us any favours. So we did a little tweak, and pretty much since we made that change, I mean, you look at the run, completely unbeaten. We had 5 draws and the rest were wins. Massive amount of points to win for the team. Some really, really good victories in there as well. You can see we beat Gorica 4-0, which was definitely a highlight. And 3-0 actually was the start of the good form. So cheers for Gorica for being our punching boys. And this is the tactic that we did. It is a slight tweak on the squircle. It was sort of affectionately coined the war quartal of the save. Obviously an evolution. Pokemon. Know your Pokemon, people. And I really, really liked it. I think it did a really... I mean, obviously did a very good job with us. And we were pretty successful with it. The back line was very, very similar to what we had set up in the last one, although instead of having that anchor, I moved it down to actually just another centre-back who's no nonsense, just get rid of the ball if he can, which was very, very helpful. Centre midfield, I liked the combination of the Mazzala and the ball-winning midfielder. It was I don't usually play that as a pair. If I've got 2, I usually do a deep line playmaker and a ball-winning midfielder. But Mazzala was a little bit of fun, and again, kind of worked for us. Fun set of wingers, wing-backs both on support, and then an advance forward. And yeah, this tactic just worked for us really, really well. And yeah, we managed to save the team. I'm so happy that we did. Speaking of transfers, people that we managed to bring in. First off, we brought in this chap here, Miloš Gordic, goalkeeper. Now, obviously, right now, he's showing as pretty much just an average goalkeeper for the league, which, to be honest, at the moment, I'm quite happy with. Maybe it's something we're going to look to improve going into our next season with Istrra. But Gordic did a really, really good job. 8 clean sheets out of 17. Considering how badly the team were doing beforehand, that's an improvement for me on what we had. Yeah, not massively upset with his performances, averaging a 7.02 over the season. Then, once again, I have to give a huge thanks to the wonderful Ziggurath in chat, who managed to find a couple of worldies for us. First of all, this chap here, his real name is Ismail Kawasi Yao. He's been affectionately nicknamed Freddie Jupiter, mainly because a Queen song came on literally at the time of him joining the club, so someone nicknamed him Freddie Jupiter. It's clever. And as you can see, just looking at him, the impact that he had on the team is a bit ropey towards the start of his journey with us. And you can look at his recent form. He has some games where he's not perfect, but I'm hoping going into the second season with him being young, hopefully he'll get a little bit more game time, a little bit more understanding of the game. But the physical's unbelievable, and he's right in all the in all the good technical areas that we need him to be as a winger. And he's got great determination, so I'm very excited to see what this chap develops into. Next up, once again, thank you, Ziggurat, this lovely chap here to bang more. And again, I'm going to start this off by saying when he joined us, not great. Didn't start things particularly excitingly. However, he trains really, really well. He's been working hard at improving. You can see he's got 17 finishing, and those physicals, my goodness, he is rapid. So he's one of those players you just give him the ball and let him cook, and my goodness, does he cook when he feels like it. 7 goals in 12 starts and 5 substitute appearances, 2 assists, 7.06 since his time with us. Very, very impressed. And our last chap was this centre-back here, Vlatko Čanić. Nailed it. Very, very happy with him as well. Again, you look at the stats. He got 6.95. That's not bad for half a season for me. 13 start. He played in every game that we had him for. And yeah, in general, did a really, really good job. Managed to get him in on loan from Lokomotiva. I imagine they are going to be using him as a first-team player when he returns. But he's the reason we did that no-nonsense centre-back thing. He sat in the middle and he did his job a lot of the time. Just got the ball, got rid. So very, very pleased with that. Whether we bring him back in, I'm umming as to whether we do, but I'm tempted. So this is the end of our first half season with Istrra. What I'm going to do now, we did start this a little bit on stream. I'm going to go away and I'm going to try and find some players to improve the team, because it definitely needs improving. The team isn't bad necessarily on paper, but you look here, look at the amount of deadwood that we've got. This list here of just players we're not really using. There's a handful of people we are, like Gabriel Bellotti. He sometimes makes appearances for the team. Fran Tomek, he's been sort of used in rotation. But in general, a lot of the players that are there, we're not looking to keep. And a lot of them have got contracts running out at the end of the season. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go away for a very, very quick bit. And I'll be back in a second after I've done a big, long transfer window and hopefully managed to improve this team. I will see you in a moment. Okay. I've just finished the transfers, pretty much. I brought it back pretty much for the first game of our second season, or, our first full season with Istrra. We play Osijek away, which will hopefully go well for us. And first things you might notice is I have thinned the herd. I got rid of so many players. Quite a lot of people were sold. A lot of people were loaned out. A surprising amount of people were loaned out. Just to kind of give us what I kind of like in a team. In Croatia, you get 12 subs. So I wanted to have a solid starting 11, a decent amount of rotation on the bench, and then a couple of extra players just in case we had some injuries, a couple of youth players joining the first team and all that sort of jazz. So let's talk you through some of the ins and outs. First up, 2 ins at the end of last season, 2 centre-backs. I felt like defence was a huge thing that needed improving. So we brought in Jakov Medic. He'd just been over at Al Ittihad. He's also got a history. He's been playing at Ajax, St. Pauli. He's been played for some decent teams. And he was available on a free, which was a bit of a surprise to me. I would have thought someone would have probably picked this lad up, but they hadn't. So I thought, why not bring him to the club? Looks really solid. He's got a bit of experience on him. He's 29 years old. Hopefully he'll be a good leader to have at the back. And yeah, I'm optimistic. He looked really good in pre-season as well. So I'm quite excited by this acquisition for our first centre-back that we've managed to bring in. I brought in a few more. And next up, tail end, another centre-back, funnily enough, on loan from Hajduk Split. Youth prospect, 18 years old, Hratin Machella, Mr. Chella to you. And again, I really like the look of the stats. The physicals are decent. He's tall enough for me. His heading could be a little bit better, but he's probably going to be fitting in that no-nonsense centre-back role, rotating with Medic, sort of those two sort of taking control of those 2 positions. There is one other person I'm keen on bringing in. We're waiting on a couple of transfers to go through as well. Those were the first 2 players that came in, and then, of course, season ticked over. Here's the rest. Next player we managed to bring in, got in a loan from Bologna. This guy, Vito Čajč. Again, apologies for murdering that surname. Ex-Dynamo Zagreb youth player, but looked really, really solid. Again, very, very well-rounded looking player. He's costing us an arm and a leg, I won't lie, but he is a very, very good player to bring into the centre of midfield. Should hopefully do a good job helping us get a few more goals, pressing forward and just helping us, tick over things. I'm very excited about this one. Let's keep an eye out on Chich. Another freebie. Funnily enough, we went for a lot of freebies here. Istrra Toure just had a very, very long stint at Pisa. Looked really good. Again, those physicals and mentals look fantastic. In general, this player is really, really well balanced. The natural fitness of 17 was a huge appealing thing to me, especially in centre midfield. And then, not a stat below 10, which in my eyes can't be a bad thing. We managed to get him in on trial, had a little look at him. Didn't actually play any of pre-season with us, but generally really, really impressed with the look of Istrra Toure. Again, hopefully he'll be one of those players that can help us press on, maybe do some bits this season, hopefully finish in the Europe spots. Who knows? As you can see above my head, an absolute load of players going out on loan. There were a couple of sales though, the most notable ones. Gabriel Bellotti, I literally just mentioned him about how I think he was going to be one of our rotation players as he was being used a bit, but Copa came in with an offer and it was hard to kind of turn it down. So we let him go, got rid of him. He's out the door. And obviously we brought in 2 centre-backs to replace him and a few of the other people that we managed to get rid of. So thank you for helping out, Bellotti. Enjoy Slovenia. I'm sure you'll have a lovely time at Copa. Next player out the door. This one was a little bittersweet because he was one of our better players in the tail end of last season. But Damjan Pavlovic has joined Al Qadsia, or Quadsia, not quite sure how to say it. Obviously, we needed some cash. He didn't want to renew his contract, so selling him for 2.2 million, massive boost in budget, and was actually able to help us bring in some of the players. So appreciate what you've done for us, Damjan. Enjoy your time with your new team. Couple of other players out the door. No one massively notable, I would say, but Mads Nielsen didn't feature for us at all, one of our centre-backs, so sent him off to Kalamata in Greece. Hope he has a nice time there. Julian Turi, one of our centre-backs, he's gone on loan, I believe, over to Belgium. Yeah, he's gone to Sportkring Beveren. You can't quite see these because they're behind my head. But, yeah, they've all gone. Anyone else of merit? Not really. One of our players went back to Dakani, so that's nice. We actually had a pre-season game against Dakani, which was kind of interesting. A little bit weird going back to one of your old clubs, but it was fun. We won, obviously. And we do have a couple of other people that we're trying to bring in. As you can see, the budgets have a little bit of tweak, obviously, with what we've had coming in and out of the door. But we do have some people that I'm very, very optimistic of them coming in. One of them we are definitely getting in on loan from Osijek, who we're about to play. Stupidly, we didn't have the funds to complete it the last time it came in, but now we do. So we'll just have to confirm it after the game. But his name is Grigor Obshivac. Again, I think I'm saying right. But he's basically going to be cover for us over on the left-hand side. Obviously, we've got Freddie Jupiter, really, really solid winger for us. This guy's going to basically be his backup. We're going to rotate with him. Obviously, it's good to have some Croatians in the team as well. One of the redeems I have on my Twitch channel is that you can basically say I have to play a homegrown starting 11. And obviously, I can sub on players as and when I need to. But the starting 11 must be homegrown of nation. And we were a bit thin on good Croatians, so I thought, you know what, let's bring in some. And this guy looks decent. I'm not too dissatisfied with him. I think he should be a good rotation player, like I say. Looks like a good prospect as well. So fingers crossed he can do a job for us. One of the 2 centre-backs we are also waiting for. We put in a bid on Dominic Perpic. Again, I'm so sorry if I'm saying all these names wrong. Really good looking centre-back. He's been at Parma, hasn't played for them, joined from Hajduk Split. Last season, didn't play a single game, didn't even play for the reserves. So there was a bit of me that was thinking, let's bring him in. You know, he's not being given the opportunity over in Serie B. He knows how to play in this league. He's done it many, many times before. Let's bring him in. Hopefully he'll be a good rotation option as well. Left-footed. I needed left-footed centre-back, so hopefully he will be a helpful addition. And last up is Jose Ortiz, a Colombian centre-back, who was also available on a free. We're pretty much just waiting for this one to tick over. A little bit short for my liking, but if he's in that no-nonsense role, or if he's maybe playing out on one of the wider sides, it shouldn't be too much of a bother. I feel like if you've got two centre-backs that are tall and one that's maybe not quite as tall, it should kind of cancel itself out, but we'll see how it goes. He looks pretty decent, a little bit of experience as well, 29 years old. He's done a fair bit. 316 appearances he's had in his career, so I should hope he will do a good job for us. And this is what we're going to be starting the season with. As things stand, we've got a couple of injuries, annoyingly. Kornienko is injured. Freddie Jupiter's actually off playing at the Olympics, so good luck to him. And Paul Dragac is also out. So this is the team we're kind of forced to play at the moment. Like I say, we're still waiting on a couple of transfers. Once they've gone through, I think this team will start coming together. This isn't exactly how I want it to be, but it'll do for our first game. Fingers crossed we get into a nice steady bit of form, continue what was going on from the tail end of last year, and yeah, hopefully have a successful full season with NK Istra. And that's everything. That's everything that we've managed to do with Istrra so far. I'm very optimistic for this season. Once these final few transfers have come in, I think the team will come together. Maybe we'll either win the cup or the league. I don't know. Don't want to count my eggs before they've been hatched, but yeah, I'm optimistic. I'm very excited to see how it's going to go. And if you want to come hang out with us and see how that goes, please come over to twitch.tv/DeeBoiPlays. I pretty much stream sort of 3 or 4 times a week. And yeah, we'll be doing a lot more of this save. That's all from me, though. I'll see you in the next one. Look after yourselves. Laters.